Just self-belief. We've been here before. We got a pretty group of a lot of veterans, so we were able to kind of sustain their momentum and the energy the crowd brought. I'm sure it helped them a lot. But like I said, we've been here before. This is my fourth time here. Bobby's fourth time here. Ahmaad's third time here. Jamar's been here twice. Saeed's been here 2 times. So we kind of knew what to expect. We weren't going to let that take away too much from us.
Ahmaad, how would you describe this game? I mean, it's sort of a just back and forth struggle, but you guys really say it whole thing out.
Just trying to play hard, just believe in what, our work. I think that this week in practice, it was a real good week, and we played hard and competed. We knew that it wasn't just going to be a blowout like it has been in the past couple of times, so we knew that we needed to just, outfight them in the hustle chart. We actually did that, It wasn't just about making shots, because they're going to make shots. They lead the conference in a lot of offensive categories, so we had to come in and really scrap to the game.
That said, first half was like 48-46. I mean, it's a huge offensive output from both sides at halftime. Is there a re-emphasis on the defensive side, particularly against Tyler Hall, who ended up with just 5 in that second half?
Yeah, Bobby, he does a pretty good job on it, I think. Frey got going a little bit, but towards the end of the game, we wanted to really trap him on the ball screens, because he was hurting us, going downhill, getting layups, but we just wanted to kind of have Bobby's face guard, Tyler Hall, and just follow him wherever he goes and make the other guys beat him.
A lot of fouls in this game. Saeed and Jamar were kind of fighting foul trouble. How did you guys kind of try to take charge, knowing that you had some teammates who were not having as much playing time as you wanted?
Staying positive. Jamar and Saeed are probably 2 of the best ones in terms of when things aren't going their way. They're very good at staying positive and still helping out the team from the bench. And when those guys are doing that, it makes it pretty easy to keep playing hard, even when they're down 2 starters. They're giving us energy on the bench, and we know that once they're ready to go back in, they're going to bring the same energy they had before.
Ahmaad, talk about that alley-oop to Mac Anderson. It's pretty neat to get the hometown kid who like that. What you kind of see in that play?
Well, it's funny because before the game, he was real nervous. So I try to tell him, when you come in, you're going to get in. You got a lot of people here that they might do, you don't know. So just when you get in, just shake off the jitters. So just try to, just get him the alley-oop. If we got a dunk, he would have some momentum to be hyped. So just trying to, just get him that look in his hometown.
Michael, with defending the ball screens that way, just, how would you describe how that worked, and how that went, especially against a team like NC with regards to that?
Harold Fred is very good at manipulating ball screens. He was very good at getting downhill. We tried a few different things. We tried to start the game isolating screens, trying to get some traps. That wasn't working. We did a little bit of we went under on the screens. We tried to fire the screens. We did a lot of different things. So credit to them for making adjustments as we made adjustments on the defensive end. And at the end of the day, he was able, especially in the second half, to kind of dice us up a little bit in those ball screens. But we were able to get enough stops, thankfully, to get the win. And that's definitely something we're going to have to work on. So we're going to watch film. We're going to see how they were able to pick apart our defense from those ball screens. And next time we'll be good.
Ahmaad, you were shooting lights out, especially in the first half. Was there something that they were doing on defense that helped with that, or were you just shooting a lot?
Just trying to shoot a little. When they went to their zone, I was getting a lot of open looks. My teammates were finding me and made a couple off the dribble. So just trying to believe in my work and know that if I get open shots, it's not going down.
They were splitting that trap a lot, but you guys seem to really ratchet that up the last 4 or 5 minutes. What was the key to that?
Just knowing when we ice that, we actually got to trap him. If the big just stays back, then he's going to try to split through it and get a layup or hit rollers. So we wanted to just, out by half court, just contain it and just trap it, be more aggressive rather than just trying to be passive, and it ended up working out for us.
Talking about that, can you just kind of walk us through the defensive possession after they had that big dunk to cut it to 2 points and came out and you set the trap really hard on that side of the court and forced Frey into that kind of wild 3-pointer game shot clock? Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, that was a big play they had. I think it was the one in transition where they cut it to 2. Yeah, we made an adjustment at that timeout, and we really wanted to get the ball out of Frey's hands, make someone else beat us. I think is it Bob and Jamar who were in the trap? I think they were in the trap, and they were able to get the ball in his hands. And you saw the shot they ended up with, that deep late shot clock 3. And then from there, it was just securing the rebound. They were getting a lot of offensive rebounds in the second half, so we knew that work wasn't done once we guarded a few things. We had to still finish the possession with the defensive board.
Mike, you guys are 8-2 now in the league. I think that ties you for first place again. So first of all, do you like where you guys are at this point of the conference season, and what is going to be the key for you guys as we get this?
Yeah, being in first is always it's a great feeling to be in first place, but we know that it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of teams, especially Weber and Northern Colorado, who could very easily win out. So we have to do our work. So we know it's not over yet, the halfway point. I haven't looked at updated stats and stuff, but we like to be at the top in the defensive categories, especially in defensive field goal percentage and rebounding too. We like to be at the top in those categories. So I'm gonna have to definitely look at those. And without looking at the stats, I do feel like we're in the right place. Definitely have work to do. Don't get me wrong, to get back to where we were, especially last year. But for a benchmark at the halfway point, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot.
For both of you guys, seniors, this is your last rivalry game in Bozeman. So just the experience, both of the 4 years and tonight, sort of the culmination of that in terms of the road portion of the rivalry and the hostile crowd with 7,000 fans. What do you take away from that?
It's been a great experience, this rivalry is great. It just brings the best out of myself and the rest of my teammates. It's been some games been a blowout, some games been close. We lost here 2 years ago, so it's been a roller coaster ride with this rivalry, but it definitely brings out the best competition-wise for myself.
Mike, the Cats made that little run at the end of the first half. They hit the three at the buzzer to take the lead. How tough is it to go into the locker room after they take that sort of moment?
That's not fun. You don't ever want to end the half like that. Especially myself, I turned the ball over, which led to that three. For me personally, it's just something you gotta get better at, move on. But for them, I'm sure the momentum was huge going into this halftime. But like I said earlier before, our experience is very big for us. We've been here a long time. We've been doing this a long time, so we didn't let it get too down on us. I'm sure they liked it. I'm sure the crowd liked it. But at the end of the day, we knew that it's a tale of two halves, and that one play wasn't going to define the rest of the game, and we were able to win the second half.
On a win like that, hostile environment, they came close a couple times, but just what was that like playing that game?
Couldn't draw it up any better. If you want to create a theme and make a movie out of it, there was a lot of drama. Foul trouble, runs, struggle defensively, figuring things out, they figured it out. It was a roller coaster ride. But what I wrote on the board for the guys before the game was also sharp. We were going to have to out-scrap them to get the W. There's no way you're going to come in here and get a pretty win. And these guys have been playing good ball. They're going to be ready for us. Tyler obviously made that obvious coming out with 21 points in the first half. Frey on the system with turnover. We had to find a way to defend in the second half. And giving up 54% in the half, probably about the worst half we've had. Makes it quick. And we buckled down, we slowed down, we made some adjustments, and over 38% made really the difference in the game.
Heading into halftime after Lane Ricketts hit that three to give him the lead, just what was the mood in the locker room? What was kind of the message coming out?
They were fairly quiet. That was mental breakdowns that led to that. We shot too quickly. They should have never had a possession to shoot it. But we had back-to-back bad possessions. Part of it was I killed our run because when I put Jamar back in with the 2 fouls, we made a move. But I didn't want to pick up his third, and so when I took him out, we weren't really in sync. I would have liked to have taken a timeout, but I had already burned one. So I rolled the dice a little bit and lost. But we've got a veteran group. It's weathered the storm before, and I thought they did a good job of that in the second half.
You talked about Tyler Hall's 21 in the first half, the adjustments that you made, Bobby Moorhead in particular in the second half. Was there anything else that went into him specifically to go from 21 points to 5?
I think the biggest thing is Bobby did a good job of just not letting him touch the ball because he was shooting contested shots. Bob was in the right spot doing the right thing, and he just shot it over the top. And when the hoop gets big for him, you almost have to foul him to keep him from getting shots off. And so at the end of the day, it was just going to let him have it. When Bob went into denial, he gave up a couple back cuts, but we knew that if he got 1 or 2 layups on back cuts, that meant he wasn't shooting threes. And Frey got a little more aggressive. And I think because of his penetration in the first half, he wanted to keep penetrating. But when we shut it down and he couldn't get to the rim and the drop-offs right there, he took a couple tough shots. And maybe that also led to some of his Tyler Ross, getting out of sync and getting out of rhythm.
They pushed the lead to 4 early in the second half, and you guys had that 8-0 run, Ron hit the 3. How important was that just in terms of not letting them carry the momentum from there.
We're at our best in transition. It's always about getting stops and pushing the ball. I mean, once we did that, we got rhythm. And we're pretty good at getting 3 or 4 stops in a row and making them pay. And so once we made that run, we really didn't look back after that.
What do you think of Jamar's ability to stay focused, even though he did the foul trouble, and then kind of give you guys an offensive punch down?
Yeah, you know, he's matured a lot. And there was some frustration. There's sometimes trying to get him out of there, get him back in, and so down. But, you know, it's difficult. You know, I kind of feel like sometimes it's a high school game, the biggest kid gets on fouls. Everybody else is doing the exact same thing he's doing, but he's the one that's on the sidelines. And when I've got 2 starters sitting on the sidelines for touch fouls, and they got their best players in the game, it just makes it difficult. And, you know, and to be honest, I mean, how do you expect us to have a lead at halftime when our best players play 8 minutes?
Following up on that, I mean, you got Saeed back in with, I think, like 7.5 minutes left in the game on 4 fouls. He made a couple big plays down the stretch. I mean, he went to him in the post a couple times, couple nice passes. What gave you the confidence to bring him in with that much time left, and, you know, how did that kind of pay off?
Some of it was confidence, some of it was I had no choice. You know, you like to wait, you know, maybe 4-minute media, things like that, but the last thing we wanted was for them to get in rhythm and make a move, and I felt that if Saeed could give us 4 good minutes before he picked up his 5th, maybe we've got a good enough lead to hold on. But when we got all our pieces in place, we were way more effective offensively because everyone knows their role. When you have guys that you have to sit down and take them completely out of rotation for 12 to 15 minutes, then pieces start ending up in the wrong spots, and the offensive execution goes down the drain along with the defensive execution, which is exactly what happened tonight.
In that first half, some of that foul trouble, Donovan Dorsey stepped up with some huge buckets as well.
Yeah.
It seems like he's just looking more comfortable as this year's going on. Is that kind of what you're seeing from him?
Yeah, you know, he's just the more games he plays, the better it's going to be. And he's a weapon offensively because he can obviously shoot the ball, but his ability to attack the rim is something that really doesn't show up on the scouting report because he hasn't done it a lot. But I think a lot of that had to do with just being out and being injured. And now he's getting closer to full strength. He's becoming more aggressive, and he's actually starting to rebound a lot better too. So he'll be a lot better each week, I think, and we look forward to that.
They got your lead down to 2, and they had the ball with like a minute and change left. So that was a very key possession. You were able to get Harold trapped in the backcourt, and then they ended up having to heave a really bad shot with the clock winding down. So that couldn't have really worked out any better.
No, and that's the versatility of our defense. Is we just kept changing our ball screen coverage, and so as he got comfortable with one coverage, we went to another one, and the timing of that trap could have been no better. But once again, that's Jamar Cole in that trap with, I believe it was Michael Oguine on that one, and then Ahmaad did a good job on the backside of getting to the shooter when he tried to make a pass and kind of forced the issue. He got him to make out.
Along those lines, you were up maybe 7-8 with about 3-4 minutes to go, and they got it to 2 points. And a lot of times teams tense up when that thing gets whittled down, but it didn't feel like that for you even on the road in Bozeman. So what does that say about your team and just sort of their mentality, maturity?
There's a lot of confidence. I think we go in every game we've gone into, we believe we can win. And sometimes you think you should win, and that's when you're a little overconfident. But they did the same thing we did, is they changed defenses. And we're used to that. We've seen it enough. We practiced, we prepared for it. It was late game. They caught us off guard a little bit. We had the wrong guy with the ball in his hands. And I had 2 play calls, a man call and a zone call. But once again, we had the wrong pieces on the floor. And so there were some people that were in spots that they really wouldn't have been in and didn't know the play. And we ended up at the end of the shot clock twice.
Having a gut one out like this, I think this is good for you guys at this point of the season?
No question. I think the easier the wins are, the less hunger you have for the next one. And we need to be battle tested as we continue to do this thing. We get plenty of rest. The way the schedule's turned out is you've got these 1 games in a week, a couple times where you can rest and kind of make some adjustments and be fresh going into a stretch. So it's good for us.
Playing against a duo like Tyler Hall and Cat-Griz, just what kind of challenge do they pose just in general?
They score ball. It's this team. The team leads the conference in scoring, and so we're going to have the best defense in the conference. There's a challenge, going into it. Who's going to win? So I think it's a challenge that guys look forward to. Mike and Tyler Hall have been doing that for a while. Bobby as well, and so I think those guys coming in the same class and going hand up the way they have for now 4 years is obviously is entertaining for all the Montana fans for sure. And then Ahmaad is serving 15 years of this. You kind of look at it, these guys have been doing it for a while. They play a lot of games against each other. And so sometimes you want to sit back and watch because it's very entertaining.